All right. So in terms of injuries there, I think we had two guys that didn't make it out of that one, and that was Tyreek. He had a shoulder, and Cole had a back. So we'll see where they're at tomorrow. I think this game really started and finished there with our defense. They just did a phenomenal job throughout. When you look at those critical numbers, it was 44 yards rushing. I saw 4 sacks and 4 turnovers, and I just thought, credit to Dennis Allen and his crew one more time. They're doing a great job getting us the ball on offense with great field position, and it certainly gives us a ton of momentum in games like that. And so they just did an awesome job offensively. That the 200 yards rushing, I think both ball carriers ran physical, ran violent, but huge credit to our offensive line and the tight ends in that core blocking unit, because you could feel that line of scrimmage move at times, and our backs were finding the holes. So that was really the name of the game there. A lot that we can clean up and we can improve. That's always a good thing. We'll coach these guys hard, and we'll turn our page onto Baltimore soon after this. Open it up.
With the running game, how satisfying is it to have come out of the bye week with answers and found something there that's giving you some life?
Yeah, no, I think we've been pretty consistent with that message, that it was just going to take a little bit of time to get our O-line on the same page and feel good about their fits and their combinations, and I think that's starting to come together. You accumulate the reps over the course of camp and through these first 5 games going into the 6th one here, and I think you really see it start to come to life a little bit. So credit to them. I feel really good. They're really well coached. Dan Rochar, Kyle Devan, they do phenomenal jobs, and they've been very consistent with that crew. It's a prideful group. Obviously, they want to protect the quarterback in the passing game, and they want to be able to run for 200 every week in the running game. So really proud of what that looked like today.
You had several red zone trips today that didn't result in touchdowns, but field goals. What do you think was the problem that prevented you all from getting those 7 points instead of the 4?
We'll have to take a look at it. I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Coach, these turnovers is consistent. It's weekly now. It's not like just some once in a while type of thing. What do you most contribute to how the defense is taking the ball there?
Yeah, I think they come in bunches, and these guys we got a method in place of how we want to practice it. Dennis does a great job with instilling that confidence in those guys, putting them in the right spot. When the ball touches their hands, they're coming down with it. We really don't have many drops on that side of the ball. They're very conscious of it when it's a running play to try to punch at that ball and get it out. And so, it's just really working for us right now. And really, our team needs it. I mean, it's really been the foundation of this last 4-game stretch for us.
And Deshaun's takeaway seemed to be the spark early for you. What did you see both on the interception and then the return that obviously gave you good position?
Which one?
Deshaun's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a great catch. And then we've really been emphasizing, because we've been getting all these, is how do we turn these into whether it's in scoring range or getting in the end zone ourselves on defense. And so all of our guys are taking a ton of pride in getting connected after an interception like that and looking to make key blocks so that we can extend that. I thought Shawnee hopped on up and was really, I thought he was going to go down once or twice, and he just kept on going. So you might have to give him the ball a little bit on offense as well.
And you talked about the discipline, the details, the things you want to clean up. And striking that balance of doing that, what's your message to the team afterwards in terms of looking ahead and getting those things right?
Yeah, I think that's the benefit of when you win. You can usually coach a little bit harder, and so we're always truth tellers on Monday in particular. And when it's good, we'll tell them when it's good. When it's bad, we'll tell them what we got to clean up. And so there's a number of things there today that we can get better at.
You see a little reversion, following up to that question, in terms of some of the sloppiness overall?
Say it again.
Some of the sloppiness, did you see a little bit of reverting back to some of the issues that you guys?
No, I would say I was hopeful that Game 6 we would play cleaner football than that.
Any sense of what happened on the 4th and goal? There was a missed exchange, but then there was a false start.
Yeah, they blew it dead, false start, so moved us back and ended up kicking.
Do you know what happened with Caleb and Drew there?
No.
Coach, it was just the 2 drives for the defense wrapped around halftime. They kind of let some things get away. How disappointing was that when you guys were dominating the game and looking to go into halftime?
Yeah, I mean, I put the before half on us offensively as much as is giving up that big play on defense. You know, we had that 3 and out. We had control of possessing that ball before halftime, and we didn't do a good enough job. I think that's 2 weeks in a row there. We've had a 3 and out before halftime. Something that we practice, something that we really stress, and we're not getting the job done there. So we put the defense in a bad spot. I thought we limited their explosives throughout that day, except for the one before halftime that resulted in points for them. So, and then, you know, out of halftime, I thought we had some chances, and we just couldn't stop them. But beyond those 2 drives, I thought the defense played some of the best ball we played all year.
You guys took the ball to start the game, so they got it back after the half. You guys been getting out pretty early in these first quarters, and the Saints were struggling defensively in the first quarter coming into this game. Was that kind of the thinking? It didn't really play out that way. Was that the thinking when you took the ball?
No, it's weather related. You know, it's a windy day, so I want to be able to control in the second half which way we're going.
How do you view the overall trajectory offensively through 6 games now? Yeah.
Yeah, up and down. So that's what we've looked like. We haven't hit our stride yet offensively. We're capable of a lot more. We have very talented individuals. I feel strongly in our coaching staff, but we're not complementing our defense on a regular basis. With the number of turnovers we've had over the last 4 games, we should be able to turn those into more points.
What has to click? What are you seeing that if this clicks, it'll level out? It'll be a lot smoother?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things, and so that's something we'll look at on the tape and see what we got to clean up. You know, we still have the false starts. You know, the good thing was the running game was working. The passing game wasn't nearly efficient enough for us here today.
Dennis downplayed the significance of facing his former team today, but from your perspective, what's your appreciation for 4 turnovers, the defense doing what it did, and Dennis's unit being part of the win?
Yeah, I mean, he certainly led the charge there. We don't win that game if they don't play that well. They just did an outstanding job, and, you know, I kind of felt it over the course of the week there with the 2 practices that we were able to get in that schematically he had some really good thoughts that we're going to put some stress there on the offense, and, you know, I thought that the defense, they knew where to be, they knew what they were looking for, and it was huge.
Then before seeing the tape, how do you sense that Caleb played just from experiencing it out there today?
Yeah, hard to say off the cuff. You know, you just go off the numbers, and you know, like I said, we weren't efficient enough in the passing game. So we'll see why that was.
Go ahead, Jason. When you see him scrambling around quite a bit in the pocket, is that what you want him doing in those situations, those 10 to 12 second plays, or do you need something more decisive, quicker than that?
No, we design a play to work through the progression, and if he feels pressured, then that's when he looks to move on from there. And so, you know, I'll go back, I'll look at that. I don't feel like we've had a ton of those up until today. I know we had maybe 2 or 3 more of those today than what I've normally felt. So we'll see what was the reason why and what can we do better. But, you know, the broken down plays in general through 6 games, I don't think it's given us the yardage that we would like.
Had a pretty significant challenge that you won there. What was the process of, you know, getting to the point of dropping that play?
Yeah, we got a good replay booth upstairs, and so they're getting footage, and you know, it looked really, really close. We felt like it was close enough to be forward from the couple of angles that we got. Really good communication on the headset with that, and the fact that their offense wasn't going super fast gave us plenty of time to make sure we were exhausting all avenues.
And we've talked about a lot with DeAndre in recent weeks. As a coach, how satisfying is it for you to see a guy like that be rewarded for kind of his head-down effort that he gives you all the time?
Yeah, I think that's all of our guys. You just keep going back to work. When things go your way, you go back to work. When things are hard, you go back to work. That's really the answer for everything, and that's what we're going to continue to do as a team. But to your point, Swifty has done a great job here these last 2 weeks. You know, we're at the point of the season now where no one feels 100% anymore. You know, and that's what it's going to be the rest of the way. None of those guys feel great. Their bodies don't feel good, and yet you still show up and you find a way to be there for your teammate next to you. And Swifty certainly exemplifies that.
And was Grady Jarrett close today, or what went into that decision?
We'll see. You know, we got him back there in practice. That was Friday, right? And so we'll see what it looks like next week in terms of his availability for next Sunday,
But why not today?
because he wasn't ready.
Thanks, man.
Yep, thank you.